Hey, John at Witchdoctors. Wanted to show you something. Lately there's been a lot of talk about the LED headlights for the Victories. Since you can't get them at Victory anymore through the dealer, there's a lot of the China versions out there. They seem to work fine. They're a lot less money. The dealer ones were in the $300 range. The aftermarket China ones are in the $120 range. You can find them cheaper, some places a little more. But I wanted to show you something. We've sold literally hundreds of these, okay? And we get some back, and there's always a question on the quality of the light, okay? For as many hundreds as we sold, yeah, we've gotten some back. But what we've noticed is a lot of the ones that we get back are because people are installing stuff wrong. And when you say, how'd I install it wrong? You just plug it on. I'm going to show you. Because when we get them back, we inspect them. And same thing, before we ship them out, we test every single one of these lights. So when they go out, we know both high beam and low beam worked. So when we get them back, we start saying, how are these coming back to us and not working? So we talked to the manufacturer on some stuff, and I'll show you what we did with that later. But a lot of people, I was noticing, are having the same issues. So we thought we'd do a video here and show you what's going on. So I took one of these lights, took it apart, okay? I took the cover off so you can see what's inside here. You can't really get this off without breaking it. It's extremely hard. You probably could if you did all kind of crazy stuff, but it didn't matter. I just wanted to show you. But here's the internals in the light, okay? So what's in here is just basically a circuit board and the individual lights. So on the back you have the connectors, okay? So what happens is these real small little pins right here, okay? I don't know if you can see it, but on this one, down in the bottom, there's a little notch, okay? And if you look at your plug for your light, you're going to have that little notch. And what guys are doing is they're taking their plug and they're spinning it 180 and they're trying to force it in there. Well, it won't go on because the little notch has to line up down in the bottom, and both of the connectors have that, okay? So what's happening, they're forcing that plug in there, and when they're pushing really hard, you're pushing on these pins, okay? And you don't think that's a big deal, but it is, because on the inside, okay, right here, and I try to show you, right here, this is the other side of those pins. The connectors are soldered. Each one of these is a little soldered connector. And what happens when you push on those pins really hard, you're breaking the connection on the solder, okay? So that's why either you won't have a high beam or a low beam, or if you're forcing it on there really hard, you can actually break both of them, okay? So that's the things we've been checking to figure out what's going wrong with these lights. Like I said, we sent them out, we test them, they're good, they're coming back, they don't work. We find that the connectors, those little solder connectors, are broken. So we talked to the manufacturer and we said, what can we do here? So what you're going to find out is on the newest version of these lights, they're actually hardwire connected, okay? So this cannot come off. That actually is hardwired in there, and you have the matching connectors. And you can probably see on this connector here, that little notch right here I was telling you about right there, if you can see that, that's what's down inside there. So it just kind of shows you there. But that's what they've come up with to try to get people to quit forcing the connectors. You can now put it on here and do it a little easier. And now that you know that notch is there, hopefully this will help. Now, can there still be some issues, warranty issues or whatever, where the light doesn't work? Sure, it's an electronic device, okay? You're paying next to nothing for it compared to what the regular Victory ones were. The regular Victory ones were maybe a company called JW Speaker. They make the LED adapt light with the technology that the light turns, and we sell those on the site. You'll see when you turn them on, they blink and they do all kind of cool stuff. A lot more money, but they're really cool. They're adaptive technology, so when you turn, the light follows this way, or you turn and the light follows that way. That's another story. But I'll go over on the bike and I'll actually show you what I'm talking about with this light and how it doesn't work. So we'll go over to the bike and I'll show you. Okay, so I put the light on the bike. So I just kind of rigged it up, but I did put the connectors on, you know, in the right spot. So the bike's on right now, so you can see the light isn't working, okay? So come in here and I'll show you. I'm trying to do this, but this is the little connector with the solder joints on it that I talked about earlier. So I'm just going to push it. Okay, you see the light come on? All I'm doing is is where the solder joints are loose now because the pins got pushed off. I'm just pushing it with my finger and I'm making the connection. So that's all it is. So that is what's wrong, is I'm just pushing on that to make the connector and the light turns on. Okay, so that's what's happening. So you guys, when you're installing these, make sure you're not pushing too hard, make sure you don't have the pins bent, make sure that connector is going on the right way with the little notch. If you have the newer style, you shouldn't have any problems, but again, electronics, so you could have, something could be bad, but at least it solves that problem of what people are doing wrong. It's not really the light's fault. In most instances, it's that pin problem, like I'm showing you there. So hopefully that helps some of you guys know what's going on a little bit with that, and you can check it yourself. Make sure you're not pushing that too tight. So thanks for watching.